Hello everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, SIIA Software and Services Division, a look ahead to 2016. My name is Rihanna Collier. I'm Vice President and Managing Director of the Software and Services Division at SIIA. And we're delighted to have you here today. I don't think we will take the full 45 minutes or even an hour, but we wanted to share with you some of the exciting things that are coming from SIIA next year and ways that you can get involved and leverage your membership. Before we jump in, just a couple of housekeeping reminders. All phone lines are set on mute. We are recording today's webinar, and you will receive the full recording along with the copy of the presentation, also with some follow-up information, and I'll touch on that a little bit more as we go along, but basically some information on how to get involved in some of the things that we cover here today. We will be happy to take some questions, so if you have any questions, please use the chat box to the bottom left of your screen. Again, all phone lines are on mute, so that is your way to communicate with us. As I said, my name is Rihanna Collier. I'm with SIIA Software and Services Division. I'm delighted to have my good friend Dhaval with me from Waterstone Management Group. Dhaval and I have spent some time over the last few months talking about the SIIA communities, our objectives for the communities, how we believe members can benefit from being involved in the communities, and he has graciously offered to join me today and talk a little bit about those specifically, and hopefully we can encourage all of you to get involved and not only collaborate but network with your fellow SIIA members. Okay, so I just do want to jump in. I think most of the people on this webinar today are SIIA members, but there may be a few of you who are not, or some of you who have not yet really engaged with SIIA. So just a quick overview of our organization. We are the only global trade association serving the software and services industry. As I said, I represent the Software and Services Division, and that really is comprised of the companies that, as it says here, develop the applications, services, infrastructure, and tools that drive our industry. We are DC headquartered with staff all around the globe. We have over 750 members. And those are corporate memberships, so they are company memberships. When companies join, everyone within that company can leverage and take advantage of the benefits that SIIA has to offer. And it is a rolling enrollment, so membership starts on the date that you join and is an annual membership until that same month the following year. So quickly, again, for those of you who have not yet engaged with SIIA, the benefits of being part of the community. So our goal is to help you guys grow and succeed, and we do that in a number of ways, and we're going to kind of dig deep into a few of them shortly, but we provide opportunities for our members to collaborate, to engage with each other on projects, on content, on our communities, if you will. Networking, if you ask our members, is a big benefit, as everybody's really a potential partner or customer, or someone you can learn from, being your peer going through some of the same issues or challenges that you yourself or your company are facing. Exposure, let SIIA help build your brand, give you exposure via our various outlets, which we'll discuss in a minute. And then professional development, hopefully that when you engage with some of the content that we have, it will give you insights and strategies to help maximize the performance of your team and help your growth within your very own company. So how do you get involved with SIIA Software and Services Division? Well, as you can see here, there are a number of ways. Many of you are probably familiar with our CODIE Awards. We just closed our 31st year of CODIE nominations, and we continue to have more and more nominations each year and continue to build out new categories to reflect what's happening currently in our industry. Nominations are closed for 2016, so if you didn't get your nomination in, be sure to mark your calendar for next year. However, we are still looking for judges. If you're interested in having access to some new and innovative products, you actually get to go through a demo, and the judges really find value in looking at what else is out there in the industry in various categories. So we are still looking for judges. That's certainly an opportunity for you to engage with not only SIA members but also other industry contacts. Our communities, I'm just going to touch on this high level here because Dhaval's going to dig deep into this for us in a few minutes. But our communities were really developed to provide a place for members in like roles or like interests to be able to collaborate and engage with each other. So there's various opportunities there. We have advisory boards for each of our communities. We have program committees for the events. We have private LinkedIn groups. We have community web pages where you can contribute resources, events, again promoting your assets and promoting your thought leadership. So we'll dig deeper into that in just a few minutes. Marketing, news, and PR. Sometimes this gets overlooked with some of our members. Let us be a marketing channel for you. You send us your news, send us your PR, your job postings, your events. We will support those through our various channels, whether it be our newsletters, our social media, anything we can do to help promote you. That's our goal. So if you have a press release distribution email, make sure we're included on it, and I'll give you some of that contact information here in a little bit. That's the stuff that you want to make sure that we see, and we do our best to keep track of that via various social media and news outlets. But if you can make sure that we're on your distribution, then we will make sure that we do our best to help promote that information for you. Events. So I'm going to go dig a little bit deeper into our deciphering series of events in a little bit here. But the SIA Software and Services Division will produce over 17 in-person events in 2016. These events are complimentary for our members to attend, and we have events for everyone throughout your executive team, from marketing, customer success, CEO, finance, product. And so, you might be the main contact for your membership, but make sure the rest of your team knows, because hopefully we have something that is going to interest all of them and that they can take advantage of through your SIA membership. So attending an event is complimentary for our members. We always look for our members as first when it comes to speaking opportunities at our events. Our members get priority. So if you're interested in having your executives get out there and showcasing your thought leadership, please let us know. We certainly want to get you on the agenda. Sponsorships. We keep our sponsorships very inexpensive and highly discounted for our members. So if you're interested in showcasing your technology and getting in front of a very exclusive targeted group of individuals, let us know. That's something that we want to help you do. Partner. Again, if maybe you're not a vendor but you're a services firm and you want to help promote the event in exchange for some visibility, we will certainly work with you to customize something that makes sense. Host. This is something a lot of our members have done for us, and it's been valuable on both sides. If you have a facility that can host, we'll say north of 75 people, we would love to work with you on hosting an event at your facility. We will do all the work. We will take care of all of the other costs and give you. Now, obviously, we customize these for our hosts, but we make it work for you. So whether that be contributing to the content, or if it's just visibility. In some cases, some companies just want their people to be brought into their office, and let us do that for you. I mentioned sponsorships, beyond sponsorships of events. There's opportunities to sponsor our communities, publications, market research, webcasts. All of this stuff is driven by our membership, so we want to know what's of interest to you so that we can make sure that we're providing that value. I mentioned attending events is complimentary. We also have our virtual forums, which is our opportunity to gather our members together on a regular basis throughout the course of the year without asking anybody to travel. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that a little bit more later. And of course our webcast. Speaking and thought leadership, talked about that a little bit from the event perspective. From our virtual forums perspective, I'll talk about that a little bit more later as well. But that's certainly where we're looking for members to help drive some of our content and lead some thoughtful discussions. Publications, on a regular basis we produce publications, whether it be our annual CEO publication, a marketing report. We recently did a finance guide where we look for contributions from our members. You guys are the experts. We don't claim to be. We want to help produce, or promote your advice and, again, your thought leadership. Video spotlights. These are video interviews we do on a regular basis with our members, whether it be in person, sometimes at events such as Dreamforce or other big industry trade shows where a lot of our members are present, or sometimes it's us coming to your office directly. And then sometimes it might be through a certain video technology that we can do online. That is a program that we're rolling out more in depth this coming year in 2016. So our Senior Program Manager, Katie Carlson, she'll be reaching out to many of the members to get some of that scheduled. But again, anything that jumps out at you here and you want to put on our radar to make sure that you guys get involved in, please let us know. Featured interviews, same thing. That falls in line with our publications and our video spotlights. Webcasts, all of our webcasts are really developed based on conversations with our members. We look for content that is going to be valuable to our industry, and we look at an opportunity to collaborate amongst our members. So with all of our webcasts, we try to get 2 or 3 members together. SIIA takes the full load from a logistics perspective, registration perspective, but we do ask the members to collaborate. Again, just another opportunity for you to network, potentially partner, and so forth. And finally on the slide, boards. So there are a number of board opportunities with SIIA, and these are opportunities for you to help really drive what the SIIA is doing and drive what's happening with our industry. So the SIIA board governs all of SIIA, and that board is an annually elected board. And any SIIA member is available to submit a nomination for that board. Again, that governs all of SIIA, so that's covering not just the software and services division that I'm speaking about today, but it covers all of our divisions from education technology, financial services, content and media, and so forth. The software and services division board is, again, elected. Half the seats are elected on an annual basis, and the other half are elected the following year to keep a nice turn of the board seats. Any member, any full corporate member is allowed to run for a board seat. And I encourage all members to, if you want to get involved. This is the place to be to help really drive what SIIA is doing, and everything you hear myself and Dav will talk about today has all come from the Software and Services Division Board and what they've tasked us with to produce and develop for our members for the next year. So being on that board is not only the opportunity to help drive all that, but it's a board of 20 amazing executives and a good opportunity to, again, network with your fellow members. The advisory boards, as I mentioned earlier, are to help govern the communities and the activities that happen within the communities. And again, Dhaval is going to talk a little more about those here in just a minute. So actually with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Dhaval, if you want to jump in, and we'll touch on the communities, and then I can take it from there into some of our events.
Sure, thanks, Rihanna. I'm Dhaval Mugimane, a part of the Waterstone Management Group. We are an advisory and consulting firm that serves essentially companies in the software space as well as other technology companies in the industry. So when Rihanna actually a couple of weeks ago asked me to provide an update and a perspective on the communities, I was actually excited to do so. The reason is that I personally believe, and as Rihanna mentioned, I personally believe that the communities can be a very useful and a very powerful resource for the members, but I also believe that it's slightly under-leveraged in the past few years, and I think there's an opportunity to really continue to push on it, continue to leverage it. And I know that Rihanna and team are looking to inject some more fuel into the communities this year, and so certainly was excited and happy to present. So to get started, that's all I'll do is I'll share an overview of the communities for 2016. There are going to be 6 communities, and we'll get into which communities are there this year. I think the same as the ones last year, but we'll get into a little bit more of that in a minute. But these communities are essentially virtual, obviously, and they comprise of members within the entire SSD group that have a shared interest in a given topic area. Right? The community essentially is dedicated to educating, driving innovation, creating networking opportunities for all of those members that participate that are interested in those specific topic areas. And again, we'll go into those 6 in a minute. So in line with that, the objectives of the communities are essentially to form tight networking groups among members for with similar roles or similar interests. Essentially facilitates information sharing, like we just mentioned. Creates a little bit of a sounding group. I mean, it's easy to sometimes understand what peers in your industry. A lot of our clients like to talk to other clients in the industry in terms of asking questions, understanding how they're solving specific problems. This community also helps set the direction for the SIIA activities, the events, the types of research, etc., that you want to drive, and essentially allows collaboration across all the members. So I think it's a very powerful mechanism to learn, to engage, to network, and essentially there are several components of the community I think that enable this, right? So there's certainly the advisory boards, as Rihanna just touched on, which guide and direct that particular community. Other resources in terms of learnings, blog posts that other members of the community put in place that you can learn from. Events, and I know Rihanna is going to touch on several events. Certainly groups, LinkedIn groups, and other networking connection opportunities. And I know for a fact that I think the SSD group is looking at special projects for each of the communities, be it benchmarking engagements that they're looking to drive on topics of areas of interest within that community. So again, lots of resources, lots of opportunities to network, and I think it's an opportunity to really leverage that for us as a group. So as I mentioned, I wanted to spend a few minutes on all the different communities that are in play here within the SSD team. There's 6 communities. The first one is the CEO community. It's an exclusive forum for the CEOs to share and exchange ideas related to what it takes to launch a business, to build a business, and grow a successful technology company. The second one is around customer success. Customer success is a topic of great interest for software companies, for companies moving to subscription. It encompasses everything from the engagement of a customer post-sale, right, around services, around adoption, around retention, around upsell. So this community will essentially provide a forum for members to work, exchange ideas, and practices around this topic. The third one is data and analytics. It's another very important topic within software, within technology as a whole. And members of this community could be from any function area of the software. Like if you think about the other communities, they're largely geared towards certain functional areas or certain roles, but this is certainly cross-functional, cross-role based. And it's around, the focus here is to be able to exchange ideas related to how data can drive operational efficiencies, drive increased revenues, take new offerings to market, build customer success within your organization. So, it's a topic for many companies. The other three communities are functionally focused. There's the finance, marketing, and the product management communities. And for all of these communities, all 6 of these communities, the goal would be for the members to really share, like I said, share practices, share content, your thoughts, blog your into the community forums, network with other like-minded professionals, and use the SIIA as a platform, SSD as a platform to make that happen. As Rihanna will outline, they've got a number of different events directed and targeted towards these specific topics within the community. So there'll be research around it. So again, it's a great forum for people to learn and to people to network. Going to the next couple of slides really gives more detail on the various mission statements of the different communities. So I won't spend a lot of time. We went over this in a few, at a high level. So I won't spend a lot of time on these. But certainly, I think to the extent it's useful and to the extent you're interested in participating in these communities, it would be worth taking a look offline and figuring out which one would be most relevant for members to participate in. So the last thing I want to really touch on here is on the advisory boards for the communities. And these are really a subset of the members of a community that really want to and are interested in working with the SSD team to shape the future of the community. So for example, I'm a member of the Customer Success Advisory Board, and candidly, I view it as an opportunity to help shape the agenda around the topic area that is, frankly, very evolving. I mean, there's a lot of questions around customer success in the industry, and I think there is an opportunity to actually shepherd and the opportunity to corral a lot of the members' interests in topic areas on the subject, being able to provide value back to the community. So clearly, to be part of the advisory board, there's some commitment and some responsibilities, and essentially they're around, it's a 2-year board term, so you commit for 2 years. It's quarterly meetings, so it's not significant time commitments. It allows you to shape the community direction, so you can engage not only in those quarterly meetings, but even offline, engage with Rihanna and team in terms of how you'd like to see the community evolve. And obviously enables you to collaborate and network, and I think the onus sometimes is on the community members also to facilitate some of that collaboration and networking. So I think the idea there is responsibilities for the advisory board members, like I mentioned before, is around providing some thought leadership on prevailing issues, leading and assisting in some of the content development in terms of topic areas that you think the members in the community will find interesting, topics, important issues, provide feedback or guidance to the team, to Rihanna and team on things that might be interesting to research. There's a number of different areas that an advisory board member can actually go and help participate and shape the direction of that community. And I think it's an exciting way to shape areas, particularly where there's so much innovation and so much change taking place. What I wanted to share around communities, I know there's a number of different ways advisory board members can participate, can contribute, but I think that's a quick update that I wanted to share on the communities.
Great. Thank you, Dhaval. I appreciate that. And again, so on this slide here, there are some additional ways that the advisory boards can contribute. What Dhaval covered is certainly what we expect. These are some things that we would hope that advisory boards members would also contribute from helping to get the content out through various channels, or recruiting other members or speakers to contribute to some of the activities, and then serving as a thought leader by speaking at some of the events yourself. There is a link there on the screen to our community page on our website. Again, you'll receive this presentation, so you'll have that for your reference. We have scheduled our first set of advisory board meetings for Q1. They are there on your screen. We will follow up to this webinar with more information on how to sign up for those, but if you are interested in participating, you can also simply email me with my email address is right there on the screen. So I again encourage you to consider becoming part of these advisory boards. As Dhaval said, a great opportunity to network, collaborate, and really drive the industry content that is being produced by your industry association. So the communities are really the core of the SIIA membership. And out of those communities, we have a number of opportunities, as Davil covered, from the events to the resources to the networking and collaboration via various channels. The Deciphering series of events, if you are not familiar with them, these have come out of our communities. So we've taken our 6 communities and said, okay, each of these communities needs to have a set of events every year. And so we've put a minimum of 3 events for each of the communities on the calendar for 2016. These are in-person events. They're regionally located, so various cities within the United States and Canada. They are invitation only, meaning they're a controlled circulation environment. Our goal, and the reason these events have been successful, is that we have gotten the right people in the room to facilitate a very valuable discussion and very valuable content. So we, for example, for the finance community, we target specifically the CFOs of technology companies or finance executives within the technology companies. We also do have some interest in those from the CEOs as well, which we welcome. And then marketing is similar. We target the marketing folks within these communities. As I mentioned earlier, registration to all of these events are complimentary for our members. I'll show you a calendar in just a minute, but as I mentioned, we're heading to cities all over, and we hope that there'll be a city near all of you, and we can get you involved and that you will attend and participate where you feel appropriate. There is a paid option for non-members to attend. Again, we do still target the specific people that we want in the room based on the topic or the community driving that specific event. I touched on this earlier. In some cases, these are hosted by members or our partners. So in fact, we have an event, one of our last Deciphering event of this year takes place next Tuesday in Philadelphia, and that is with our finance group, and that's being hosted by our member Grant Thornton in their office in Philadelphia. Again, if anybody's in the Philadelphia area and wants to join, we do have a few spots still available. So please let me know if you're interested. Again, so if you are interested in hosting one of these events or getting involved through a sponsorship, as I touched on earlier, please let us know. We encourage you to do that. As I mentioned, here is the calendar for 2016. Now this calendar includes our Deciphering series and virtual forums. I mentioned the virtual forums earlier. The virtual forums are an opportunity for our communities to continue to have discussions throughout the year that don't require in-person events or travel. So we have sprinkled in a number of virtual forums for each of our communities throughout the course of the year, so that if you are a customer success executive, there should be an activity for you, whether virtual or in person, every month or two throughout the course of the year with your SIA community and your SIA through your SIA membership. Again, you'll get the slide deck, so you will have this calendar, and I encourage you. There could be some additions to this, but at this point, this is what 2016 will look like for SIA. And as you can see, it's a pretty aggressive calendar. For those of you that have been members for a while, last year we think we had something like 7 or 8 Deciphering events, and now we're going on 17 plus. So it's aggressive, but the membership has asked for it, and we plan to deliver. I just want to touch quickly on opportunities for thought leadership and speaking opportunities. I know this is something all of our members are interested in, and sometimes they're just not quite sure where the opportunities are. So we talked about the Deciphering events, the virtual forums. The virtual forums, we ask our members to lead those discussions. They are private, exclusive, member-only phone calls to discuss a specific topic, and usually facilitated by one of our members. So I'll give an example. Back in September, we had our finance event, and we had an attorney come and speak about state and local tax issues and how they affect cloud service providers. and our audience was taking notes like crazy. They were engaged. They couldn't believe the content they were getting. They asked if they could get a regular update. So in January, we have the same attorney coming back via a virtual forum to give an update on where we are on some of these state and local tax laws. That's kind of an example of the format of our virtual forums, where one person might facilitate the discussion, but it's meant to be probably no more than 15 to 20 people on a completely open phone line where they can discuss the topics that are affecting them or of particular interest to them at that point. This is where our communities will help also drive those topics and the content for those virtual forums throughout the year. So if you're interested and you have something that's jumping to mind, again, a good reason to get involved with our advisory boards to help drive some of that information. Webinars. We are always looking to collaborate with our members on webinars. I talked about those earlier. Again, the webinars usually come about through a conversation we have, just a direct conversation with our members. So keep in mind, if you're interested in doing a webinar, you want us to take the lead on it, we'd be happy to do that. So please just let us know. Publications. Publications happen on, we don't have a set schedule for our publications, so this is something that we will be reaching out to all the members as they come about. Please take a look at those. Those are a great opportunity for you, your executive, your company to be featured amongst other peers. Again, I mentioned our CEO publication is probably the one most would be familiar with, but it's a great opportunity to get some exposure for you and your company. And again, everything I'm talking about today is all included as part of your membership. So you want to make sure that you're leveraging it as much to get the most value out of your membership with SIA. Community resources, Dhaval touched on this. All of our community web pages has a resource section. All the resources within those sections are contributed by our members. Again, you guys are the experts. We want to make sure that we are giving not only the software community but our membership the best of the best. And your white papers, your blog posts, all of that is what we want to build those resource sections with. So we want you to contribute those. Guest blog posts on a regular basis. Our members do provide guest blog posts that we put within our blog and promote through our various channels. I know Waterstone takes advantage of this, which it's a great opportunity, again, to get your information out there. Executive video spotlights, I touched on those too a little bit earlier. A new program, not a new program, but an expanding program that we are taking into 2016, and we will be reaching out to you to get your executives involved in those video spotlights. Okay, marketing and PR. This is something I mentioned earlier. I just want to touch on again. This is something that a number of our members I don't think take as much advantage as they could because it's not a lot of resources on your part. But make sure you're sending us this information. You can submit all of this to myself, to Katie Carlson. Her email's on the screen now. We want to make sure that we're getting your news and your information out there. The other thing mentioned on this slide, the last one on that list, is member deals. This is an opportunity for you to provide an offer or a deal to other SIA members. So for example, you want to give 20% off first-year subscription to all SIA members. Well, we will promote that to our membership. As all of you can appreciate, we can't endorse products and services, but we can certainly promote an offer you want to make to the SIA membership. We'll put it on our website. We'll include it in our newsletters. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of that opportunity. And finally, just get involved. Join a community board, attend, speak, or sponsor an event, lead a virtual forum, or contribute on some of our projects, and submit your assets for promotion. It's your membership. It's your opportunity. We want to make sure that you are getting the most value out of being part of the SIA community. If there are other ideas or suggestions on activities that you don't see here or that you think would be of value to you and your company and to the industry, please let us know. Again, our calendar, our agenda is constantly changing based on the needs of our membership. So we want to do what's going to be most valuable for our members. In follow-up, you have contact details there on your screen. You have my information. Again, Katie Carlson is our Senior Program Manager, and Valerie Forby is our Membership Development and Sales Manager. You can contact any of us for more information, but you will receive a follow-up from this webinar with the recording, the slide deck, as well as some additional information on how to join and get involved in some of the things that we've covered today. So with that, I have a few questions here. If anybody else has any other questions, please let me know. I have one question about having someone present at a deciphering event, and what's the process for signing up. The process is simple. Just contact me. Send me an email. We will get you on the agenda. If you have specific thoughts on topics, in some cases we have a group that gets together and comes up with all the topics for the 3 events, and we do the same program 3 times throughout the year in different cities. And then in some cases there are sessions that do change. So if you have specific topics or you just have a speaker you really want to get on the program, please just drop me a note and let me know. Also, you should see on a monthly basis you receive our division update. That also gives a high overview of all the things we are currently working on and where we're looking for speakers. So I encourage every member to keep an eye out for that. It comes out the first week of every month. You should receive it tomorrow, in fact. If you don't receive it, let me know. We'll make sure that you are in the database to receive that, because that's a great way to keep abreast of all the stuff going on within the Software and Services Division at SIIA. Another question here I have is, can we share some specific topics of past virtual forums? We are just developing the topics for 2016. We have a virtual forum coming up in 2 weeks on unclaimed property. We have the tax one, and we have one currently on the schedule around the status of valuations and M&A. But all the topics will be different based on the communities. So that's again something where the advisory board is going to help lead the development of the topics and what are the key subjects that that members want to discuss. So with that, if there's not any other questions, that is all I have for today. I'd like to thank Dhaval for joining me today and going through what I believe is a very exciting and aggressive agenda for SIIA for 2016. And again, just want to encourage everybody to get involved. This is your association, and and we want to make sure that you get the most out of it. So thank you.